Hey guys, in today's lesson, we're going to take a moment to pause and review what we have covered in the first three lessons. So in lesson one, we talked about discounts. In lesson two, we talked about markups and markdowns. And then in lesson three, we talked about sales tax and tip. And so today, we are just going to review each of these. I'm going to start by reminding you of this chart. I told you the key to knowing what to do is paying close attention to the terminology that the word problem gives you. So there are some key words that we want to keep in our minds, and these things sort of indicate exactly what operation we should do, whether or not we should add to the total or we should subtract from the total. So most of these we have done. There are a couple that I have added to this. I just wanted to introduce to you. Some of them we're going to see later on. But the words for adding to the total, once we have determined the part, once we have done we have solved for the proportion and we've figured out what that X is, what that part is, we add it to the total when there is a markup, when there is commission, sales tax, tip. Another word for tip is the word gratuity. If there's a bonus or a deposit. Now, these words, bonus and deposit, we've not seen, and we're going to see them later on throughout this unit, but I want to go ahead and introduce them to you today. When we subtract from the total, so once we solve for that X, we solve for the proportion, we subtract from the total when there's a markdown, discount, percent off, coupon, if there's a fee, deduction, or a debt. Okay, and so again, some of these words we have not discussed all of them, but I just wanted to kind of introduce them to you, and you will see them later on. All right, so we're going to walk through just 4 examples. Now, we have done all of these types of problems, so before you watch me do it, I'm going to encourage you, pause the video, attempt to do it yourself, and then use this as a way to just check your answer and to make sure that you did all of the steps correctly. And problem number 1, Alex went out to dinner with her family. The cost of the meal came to $38.40. If they leave a 15% tip, what will be the total amount they will have to pay? All right. So I'm going to start by setting up my proportion. Anytime you have a problem involving a percent, you will always be able to set up a proportion in order to solve for it. And so now we're going to figure out what parts go where. Okay, if we will remember, this was the proportion that I gave you to set it up. R being the part or the percentage or the portion that you are figuring out. B is the base, okay? That is the original amount or the amount before, okay? The R is the rate, and the rate always is the number with the percent, all right? So, again, the easiest one I like to start with the percent, okay? I have 15%, that is the tip that I am using for this proportion, and then the cost of the meal, that is the amount before the tip is added, so that is what is going to be the base, that is the original, okay, and then the X is what I am figuring out, and then to solve for the X, I'm going to cross multiply and then divide. So I'm going to do $38.40 times 15, and when I get that answer, I'm going to divide it by 100, and that is going to give me X. And so I do 38.40 times 15, divide that by 100, and I end up with $5.76. Okay, and so in order to figure out how much the total is, again, that word tip is, I need to add the tip amount to the original cost. And so again, Tip is being added. So I'm going to take the $38 and the 40 cents. I'm going to add the tip that we are giving. And that is going to give me my new total in the end. Okay. And that new total is $44.16. Okay. All right, here's question number 2. After winning their basketball game, the team goes out for dinner to celebrate. If the total of the meal was $98.50 and they want to leave an 18% tip, how much should they leave for the tip? So this question is asking me how much for the tip. So I'm going to set up my proportion. So we can start doing it a different way. We'll start with the first number that we get, which is the $98.50. That is the total amount, and that is the amount before the tip is added. So that is going to be my base amount, because again, that is the total before the tip is added. And then I'm leaving an 18% tip, and so I'm looking for how much, what part of that amount will be 18%. So this is my proportion I have set up. Now to solve the proportion, I'm going to cross multiply. Do $98.50 times 18. Then I'm going to divide that by 100, and that is going to give me the tip amount. So I get $17.73. And again, because the question says how much is the tip amount, that is actually my answer. That is the tip amount. Okay. I don't need to take this and add it to the original because it's not asking me for what's the total after. Okay, so you have to pay attention to what the question is asking. In this case, it's asking what is the amount for the tip, and so we can stop right there. All right, question number 3. Jeremy bought a new pair of jeans. The jeans regularly cost $30, but they are on sale for 10% off. There is a 6% sales tax on his purchase. How much will Jeremy pay altogether for the jeans? So we're looking for the total after the discount and after the sales tax. Okay. Now, again, for this one, you have two things that you're doing. The discount is going to be subtracted, okay, because discounts are taken away from the total. And the sales tax is being added, okay? So we have to do those two separately, okay? So I'm going to start by setting up the proportion in order to figure out, okay, what is the discount going to be? What is the percentage off? So it's a 10% discount, and the jeans cost $30. That's the price before. So I got to figure out, okay, how much is that going to be? So I'm going to do 30 times 10, then divide it by 100. And that is going to give me how much is the discount. So that's giving me the discount. 30 times 10 is 300, divided by 100 is going to give me $3. Okay, so again, this is the amount of the discount. So I'm going to take 30, subtract the $3, and that is going to give me $27. Okay, $27. Now, I also have to figure out the sales tax. Okay, Now, technically, the way you are to do this is now you want to take the sales tax off of the price after the discount. So for the sales tax, instead of using 30, I'm actually going to use the 27, the new amount, okay? Now, I think the first time we did this in the first lesson, I think we took the sales tax after off the original item. What I will tell you is, regardless, technically, you know, me and Mr. B, we looked this up earlier. You are technically supposed to do the sales tax off the discounted amount. But truth be told, if you use the 30 instead of the 27 here, I wouldn't worry too much about it. What you're going to end up getting is an answer that is similar. But technically, the sales tax should be off the discounted amount when you have a percentage off. Okay, so when you have a percentage off, the sales tax should be at, you should use the discounted amount as the original. And so the sales tax is going to be 6%. So 6% of the 27, I'm going to cross multiply and divide by 100. And this is going to give us the amount of the sales tax. So I'm doing 27 times 6 divided by 100, and that is going to give us $1.62. And again, this is the amount of the sales tax. So now I have to go back and add the sales tax to the 27. So it's 27 plus the $1.62, and that is going to give us the new amount, which is $28.62. Again, if you use 30, you would have been a couple cent off. So it just depends. Again, technically, I'll remind you to do that. But again, it's just certainly I want you to know that the steps are correct. As long as you set up those two proportions, you just got to keep in mind, one is a discount that is being subtracted. One is the sales tax that's being added. All right. And sales tax is calculated after the discount is applied. All right, this is our last one. The day after Christmas, a store wanted to get rid of the Christmas trees, so they discounted them all at 25% off. 2 weeks later, they still had some left, and so they marked them down again, 40%. If the Christmas tree originally cost $120, what will the cost be after the second discount? Okay, so we have a 25% discount. Then they mark them down again, 40%. So that is 2 discounts, okay? And then the original cost was $120. What is the price after the second discount, okay? So this time, when I set up my percentage, or my proportion rather, I have 2 discounts. The first one was 25, the second one was 40. So because I want to know after the second discount, I have to add that, the 25 plus the 40, that is going to give me 65. That is the amount that was discounted. This 25 plus the 60. 25 plus the 40, all right? And then the original cost was 120, and I'm looking for how much it will cost after the second discount. So I'm going to cross multiply and divide 120 times 65, divide that by 100, and that is going to give me the amount for the discount. So 120 times 65 divided by 100, and that gives me $78 as the discounted amount. And again, what will it cost after? So we are looking for the total, right? How much is it going to cost after the discount? Okay. And so we're going to take the original, which was 120. We're going to subtract the discount, which was 68, and that will give us our amount after the discount, and that will be $42. So hopefully that was a good review for you. Again, you gotta make sure that you pay attention to what the word problem is asking. You see me do it for every problem. I would encourage you to make sure that you are circling the numbers, that you are underlining those key words that help you indicate where to put things and then whether or not to add or subtract. Hey, hopefully this helps you prepare for your upcoming quiz. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'll be more than happy to help you, and good luck studying.